Yo, welcome. Right, another Sparks Fly episode of me making stuff out of wood. Electrician, in case you don't know who I am. I'm gonna make a scrap cable wheelable tub. You know how that stuff with wheels. So they're my materials over here. We'll run through that in a second. But I'm shocked by how many people are actually watching the videos of me cutting up wood, and I will continue to do it because I enjoy doing it. Obviously I'm no expert in it, which I've had a few people commenting. That's life, unfortunately. But at the moment we're sitting at 3,797 subs. I mean, the past two videos have hit over 10k views, so if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, it really does help out. Right, so my plan of attack is, I brought, they're not scaffold boards because I actually physically couldn't get hold of any in time. This is actually my last day before I get back to work, so 2.4 meters by 20 centimeters. Electrician again, we'll go by the numbers nearest. Got a bit of, I think this is 15 mil board. What the plan is, I'm going to do it as high as I can. Bought some more wheels off Amazon. These are the ones that I put on the podcast table, which is around the corner. This is actually measuring out at 122 centimeters, so and they're 240. So I'm going to rip this down a little bit, down to about 116. So if I cut that, obviously the cut will actually take away, 2 mils worth of wood. So I'm going to rip this down a little bit more than I should, get this up on the chop saw, chop these down. I think the plan is I'm going to do 3 high. I could screw it around the support, but with this board as well, I think for a bit of added strength, I'm just going to cut a bit of CLS in. So we'll make some almost legs, internal legs, and then when we put the wood together and we screw it around, we'll screw into the leg as well, just to pinch it more, just because the thickness of this isn't the greatest. I think this is an inch thick, 25 mil. So I think, to be fair, because you know we like to change the plan. Also, if you haven't seen the studio tour or the unit tour, go to my other channel, all that's on there, I'll put the link below. I think what I'll do, I'll rip this down first, and then we'll put the frame together, we'll cut all this down to size, screw this round. There'll be an overlap, so the long edges are going to end here, and then the bits on the side will overlap to get the joint. And then, if the strength is needed, then we'll add the CLS, because it'll be very easy to add afterwards and sit the wheels on at the end. So, yeah, let's get started. So we got our ends cut, we've got 6 of them, so I lean them up. Where are they going to go? Obviously I can just measure this and then add 50 mil on, but sort of see how it's going, take a measure. So to get these end bits so they overhang full distance, so 65 centimeters, 650 mil, we'll get some amount cut, obviously we'll be able to rip down a few out of the same board and get them cut as well. Right, all them are cut now. Just bang them over a sec. Not this one. Obviously I want to get these as square as possible without splitting the wood with the screws as well. So I think the best job is get a pilot bit out, a pilot mount in every corner as we build it up. We'll obviously only screw from the ends, so each end bit will screw into each bit. Also, we'll do some across the bottom into the base. Right, bear with me, I'm going to get my combi drill and some an impact and some drill bits. So I've just done with an offcut. Obviously, that will be like this. Run it down on another piece of timber to make it our line. It's just made a quick jig really, so I can line that flush up with this end, put my pilot bit straight through, and I know for aesthetics, once this is all screwed together, it will be in uniform and all be the same distance apart. So I'll drill some of these out. Right, so same thing, we can make a jig. This is going to go off here, this is a different thickness. I'll do the same thing, but I'll use the offcut of the baseboard. So we'll put that over there. I want to get 5 equal distance measurements. So this, in theory, 116, so what's half of 116? It is 58. Yep. So it's a bit over. So as long as I measure, make sure that this corner here, if I put a star in this corner, that starts with every corner. So we can measure 1 out by 10. And then, oh no, we can get away with the 4. Measure that from 50, it should be here. Score a line across, making sure the ends flush up. There'll be some carpenters watching now going, what's this guy on about? I don't really know, to be honest. Right. So it's going to be our bottom. We'll start from this corner. We'll put that across here. That'll be our thickness. So. And draw that out. Right, they're all cut. I've got my 2 side panels, bottom panels with screws, my top panels, and then all my end panels. I'm going to be using some 2-inch screws, 2-inch gold screws, nothing special about that. Yeah, right, put the first bit in. Impact. Bring this on the edge. See how we get on. Square these edges up. Beautiful. Realistically, there's not a lot, so I'll time lapse it again, stick some music over the top while I'm just putting it together. Right, so what's our base done? It's strong, it's square, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the size and obviously the depth it's going to be with another 2 layers on top. But obviously it's just come around, why am I still wearing these? It's just come around to my time to go, oh yeah, of course I made a mistake. Obviously I have to do internals because as it stands, not having biscuit joints or measuring out perfectly and doing, sorry I cut my finger yesterday, measuring out like doing perfect wood dowels throughout this, and I don't have any dowels. Obviously I've got to do retaining inside, so as and when I slot the next section on, they can all be drilled through together. Otherwise you're going to be doing like naff screws at an angle through, which would just, it's not going to be very strong. I need this strong because obviously this purpose of this is to wheel this round, put tack cable in, take it out to the van, fill it up, bring it back. It's going to have armour cables in it, and then this is also going to feed because I brought a cable stripping machine. It should be turning up the next couple of days. I'm going to do a few videos on that. So yeah, so I'll measure out the CLS. We'll do a nice 45-degree chamfer on the top, and then we'll get that screwed in. So the good thing about these is what I'm going to do is I'm only going to support it with this, but when the wheels go on the bottom, that's then going to support and drill through straight into the bottom of this, so it leaves security even more. So I'm going to get these on, and I'll tell you what, I'll do some magic. So there we have the box. It's heavy. It's not perfect. I mean, like I've said before, I'm not a carpenter, I'm an electrician, so it's not perfect, but it does exactly what it needs to be doing. It's slightly off. I just think the woods are all a bit different thicknesses, and it is bowed a bit because it's being cute wood, so it's the way it is. So yeah, that's solid inside, as you can see with the slats. So 45, it's obviously nothing can catch on it. And yeah, I'm going to get it off, flip it over, and then we're going to get a few of these wheels on. They have got brakes on, so it should work quite well. What I'm doing now is, I know the CLS inside is angled this way, just to make sure I'm hitting the CLS and get as much strength in the wheel as possible. What I'll be doing is overlapping it slightly onto this wood, so the 2 furthest ones will be on the outside, and then 2 on the inside to make sure I've got the CLS. So obviously if I put it here, we're going to be missing that across there. I'm just going to do it on all of them, and then we'll drill them in. No problem. Look at that. It's pretty much finished. I'm tempted to treat it. I've got some like grey stain, but for the time being, it's going to stay the way it is. And this is just the tap that I've collected from the workshop as like the unit as I want to redo the electrics. And I've got a lot more at home. It's just going to be a lot easier to keep it in somewhere, especially standing it, packed it down, make things a bit easier for me. And I've learned as well, even though I've had the unit, 2 weeks, if stuff's on wheels, my God, is it easy to have in here, as in when you're moving stuff around. You know, if I want to bring the van in, I've got to start painting the rest of this floor soon, but I'm still naffed off with the amount of moisture in the ceiling that drips down. But that's life. I've ordered some more clamps for the scaffolding there with the cross members, some soundproofing, some studio curtains, obviously the cable stripper, which should be, it looks cool, it's got good reviews. It was about 350 quid. So we'll set that up, do some videos, and the purpose of the video as well will be to see how long it takes to recuperate your money back from buying the machine, and then how much money it will actually make you more than obviously just taking normal cable to the scrapyard. You know, obviously if it's bright copper, if it's stripped down, it weighs less because you've not got the insulation, but it's worth, I think, about 3 times more. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.